Alrighty guys, welcome back here to another live stream, my friends. I hope you guys have all been doing well out there, and I hope you guys have all been getting ready for Hurricane Milton, as it is just getting ready to start making landfall in Florida, so we definitely gotta be ready for that pretty soon. And latest on radar already shows an extreme wind warning currently in effect for the Tampa Bay area, unfortunately. And if you're wondering what an extreme warning is, which is something we haven't looked at for a really long time, but this indicates life-threatening, damaging winds, and that's because we are expecting the potential for wind gusts as high as, maybe even as high as 140 miles per hour. It is, as of right now, it is currently a Category 3 hurricane, and let me pull that up so you guys can see. We are definitely, really watching this closely, as it is, still looking to be on the concerning side of things. But if we look, at the hurricane tracks, let's go see, how Milton's doing out there. We're gonna go ahead and go to Zoom Earth, just to get a good view of that. And yeah, as of right now, it's a Category 3 hurricane, just getting ready to impact parts of Florida. I'll move the satellite imagery so you guys can see a little bit better. And yeah, we definitely do have more of that heavy rainfall occurring on the northern side of it, but those extreme wind gusts looks to be on the southern side of it, as it, it's continuing to head towards the north, and it looks like it's going to be causing landfall just to the south there of Tampa Bay, and as well as Clearwater. So if you live to the north of Tampa Bay, you are likely going to see some major flash flooding, as the heaviest rainfall is going to be on the northern side of it, and it's just going to continue to the east. Look how much rainfall is still to come onto land. So that's one of the things you guys need to be aware about if you live north of the Tampa Bay area, and as well as the Orlando area. But if you live south of it, that's where we do expect those extreme winds to occur, and we are also still really watching that tornado threat closely on the southern side of it, as the latest from the Storm Prediction Center does have an enhanced risk for severe thunderstorms across parts of eastern Florida. So pretty much areas in between Orlando all the way down to Miami will be at risk for, some pretty good tornadoes today, as we do have a 10% hatched risk for tornadoes today in between Orlando all the way down to the Miami area. In that hatched area that you see, which is the black area, which is where the lines are going, through it, that indicates a chance of strong tornadoes down there in parts of Florida. So unfortunately, we are going to really need to be, really keeping an eye on this, as down there in Florida could really be talking the potential for a couple more strong tornadoes this evening, and even when Hurricane Milton starts to make landfall. We also do have a risk for some damaging winds. That's not because of the hurricane, but that's just saying isolated storms from Milton could contain that threat for damaging winds. So, that kind of means, if you're not in the direct path of this hurricane, but if you are under a discrete supercell, that's where, you could definitely see the damaging winds. So that's something to keep in mind, especially if you're well away from this hurricane, especially areas down there near Key West and Miami, Florida. Like I said, it's not necessarily to do with the hurricane, but those discrete storms that Milton has on it could contain those damaging winds. So it doesn't take just a hurricane to cause those damaging winds. They can even be caused by isolated thunderstorms, and that's why there's that damaging wind threat, like I said. So I hope you're getting that, and even areas that aren't going to be in the direct path of this hurricane should still be weather aware, including the areas that are under the threat for a couple of strong tornadoes today. And like I said, already a Category 3 hurricane and getting extremely close to making landfall So, like I said, we definitely do need to be aware about that. And we still do have that extreme wind warning still in effect for the Tampa area, Clearwater area, St. Petersburg area, and even down there towards Bradenton in Florida. You guys, like I said, are under an extreme wind warning. So, you guys should definitely get to your guys' safe spots, as, winds could still be very extreme even if there's not a tornado as of right now. We also do have some huge areas, that are already experiencing a lot of flooding, as between 6, inches, between 3 to 6 inches of rainfall have already fallen. An additional amount of 3 to 6 inches are possible for places like Orlando, Daytona Beach, even up there towards Palm Coast, occasional down there, even towards Spring Hill in Florida, and even parts of the Tampa area will be at risk for some huge, flash flooding today, as heavy rain really does look to continue. And this one, even looks to be even more in the way of a flood threat, as between 4 to 10 inches of rainfall have fallen. So, that's definitely a bad thing for places like Lakeland, Florida, up there towards Spring Hill, even Brooksville. Those areas definitely really do need to be taking it seriously, guys, including you guys under that extreme wind warning, like I said. We also do have some special marine warnings. These ones, need to be watched for, especially because they do have the potential to produce a water spout just off the coast there of Port St. Lucie, but even West Palm Beach, up there towards Cape Canaveral. You guys definitely need to be watching these special marine warnings, as they could definitely produce a water spout, which is, kind of like a tornado, definitely on the weaker side, but still gonna be something to be aware about if you do live on the east coast of Florida, as a lot of these discrete cells, like I said, are still capable of producing, tornadoes and isolated damaging winds, not caused by a hurricane, but caused by discrete thunderstorms, and of course these water spouts. So even if you're not in the direct path of this hurricane, you still need to be weather aware, as this is still going to cause some pretty big impacts across the rest of Florida, including down here near the Key West region. So, like I said, definitely be weather aware if you do live anywhere in Florida, but especially where this is going to make landfall, and also where that threat for strong tornadoes is. And if you are just joining, we are talking about Hurricane Milton, like I said, and we're going to show you guys the threat for strong tornadoes again, just so that you guys can get a good idea. And like I said, areas in between Orlando all the way down to Miami, you guys do have that threat for strong tornadoes, especially in this black color that you see right there with the lines going through it. That does indicate that chance for a couple of strong tornadoes, as we will likely, continue to see Milton have a lot of discrete storms, because it's just right off the coast there of western Florida, but will likely continue to move closer and of course start making landfall by the time we head into tonight, and maybe even as late as midnight, where the eye will be on land. So that's something that we do also need to be aware about too, as well, as this system is already getting very close to making landfall. So definitely be aware about that if you do, like I said, live in that threat for some strong tornadoes right there, and maybe even some isolated damaging winds, as these storms could definitely go on the stronger side of things. Let's also go ahead and look at the latest on satellite imagery. We haven't took a look at this yet either, but this is really just, showing us how strong Hurricane Milton is right now. And like I said, it is a Category 3 hurricane, and, the eye is pretty much located right there. I know it doesn't really look like an eye, but that's because it's interfering with a lot of dry air and wind shear that's around the coastal areas of Florida already, and, that's really causing this to weaken a lot, which is good, but this is still causing extreme impacts, as it is still a high in Category 3 hurricane. So, this is something to still be aware about if you do live, offshore there in Florida. So places like Tampa, Sarasota, you guys are getting ready to see some landfall pretty soon. So definitely be aware if you do live in between Tampa, all the way down towards Sarasota, and maybe even as far down south as Fort Myers. So like I said, it's definitely good to be on high alert, and of course be watching this closely, as we will continue to see some pretty major impacts from the system as it continues to get onto shore. And if you do have any questions about Hurricane Milton, feel free to leave those down in the chat. We will definitely be covering this for quite some time, so definitely, leave any questions, like I said, in the chat. If you do have anything, you guys can even, ask me, how do you get prepared for this if you guys are struggling on it. But feel free to leave any of that down in the chat, and I will definitely get to that if you would like. But like I said, still watching closely, as Milton is still a strong Category 3 hurricane. Not only that, but, Milton, is likely going to, be heading out to sea as it passes Florida, which still remains uncertain, especially, these far, parts of the models, especially where models take it the farthest in the middle of the sea, still remains uncertain on what exactly it's going to do. But the reason why we're watching this is because this may bring some impacts to Bermuda by the time, it heads back into Atlantic Ocean, and that's one of the reasons why we're still keeping an eye on it. And I mean, this could be, another strong hurricane by the time it gets into the middle of Atlantic Ocean, which is exactly where Hurricane Kirk developed, which actually turned into a Category 4 and pretty close there to a Category 5 hurricane in the middle Atlantic Ocean. And that's something to watch for with Milton, as it does head offshore and, of course gets closer there to, the middle Atlantic Ocean, like I said. And that's why we are still going to be watching this closely, as, it really does, head offshore. But let's look at the radar again. And like I said, we do have those extreme high wind warnings in effect, for parts of Florida right there, especially Clearwater, St. Petersburg, Tampa, Bradenton. Those areas definitely need to be taking this seriously, as we will definitely be watching this extremely closely. So we definitely we'll need to be watching those areas closely. And something that we can look at is some live cameras. We haven't looked at live cameras yet, so we're gonna take a look at these to see if we get any good information about what we could be talking about. So let's see on where exactly this is. So this is pretty much located in Tampa right there, so we're gonna go ahead and try to find one near Tampa, looking out to the west, so that way we can kind of get a feel for how strong those winds are. It looks like that one's pretty good, so let's go ahead and watch that video, like I said, just to get a good idea on what's happening. It's taking a little bit to load, so let's see if this plays. But we even got some more cameras to choose to as well, like this one. Let's see how this one is. It's raining pretty hard, and yeah, I mean, those cameras are shaking. We're seeing those cameras really shake quite a bit, as it is, already causing some really high wind gusts, in the Tampa area. And we chose pretty much this one right there, which is pretty much a little bit to the north there of downtown Tampa. Let's go ahead and look for one over down there in Clearwater. Let's go ahead and choose this one right here. And let's see what this one wants to show. And I mean, yeah, those winds are definitely starting to pick up quite a bit. Camera shaking right there. Not very many cars on there, thankfully, which is good, because cars can sometimes get tossed off the roads whenever there is very high winds. And like I said, it's good that there's no cars on the road, but it would be bad if not everyone has evacuated yet. And it is pouring pretty hard too, as well, as we are already starting to see a little bit of flooding occurred off the roadways too as well, and you can actually kind of see, you know, some of that water going across the street right there. So I mean, flooding and, you know, those winds are really starting to pick up quite a bit, as Milton is already getting extremely close to making landfall there in Florida. So that's an area you guys need to be on high alert in, which is pretty much these areas down here towards Feather Sound in Florida, and even the St. Pete Clearwater International Airport. You guys around that area too as well need to be keeping an eye on this closely. Let's look at a few more traffic cams like this one all the way down here just to the south there, St. Pete Beach, and let's see if that's still in that warning. So St. Pete Beach is pretty much right over here, you know, just to the south there of St. Petersburg. And if we go back to the radar to look at that, yes, St. Pete Beach is right there. And so yeah, I mean, we are pretty much right there in the middle of that extreme warning. So this should be, you know, one of those areas to see those highest wind gusts. As I said, we are keeping an eye on this closely. And so if we go ahead and select that camera right there, show video, let's see what this shows. Might be a little slow right here, and some of them might even start to be struggling. So let's just see what the cameras show. Looks like that one's not working. Let's see what this one shows. Let's see, is this even gonna load? Yeah, I mean, it's not surprising to see a lot of these cameras struggle. I mean, these cameras don't really handle wind too well. But, you know, this definitely does give us, you know, a decent idea on what's happening. Let's see if we can find a few more around here. We even got some, you know, over here towards, you know, these areas, in St. Petersburg. So let's go ahead and select a camera there. And this is located on a highway. Let's see, it looks like this one could load. So let's wait a second to see if it plays. And see, it looks like it's struggling a little bit, but like I said, it's not surprising that some of these are already starting to struggle a little bit. We can, you know, after we go cancel and try just one more of these. Let's see. Looks like this one isn't struggling as much, but it's still taking a little bit to load. Let's see if this one will start playing soon. And yeah, like I said, you know, it definitely, you know, these cameras definitely don't handle the wind too well, which, you know, kind of sucks here and there. But, you know, like I said, we can still get a decent idea by looking at these. We're just trying to see if we can find one that will even work in this extreme warning, because I mean, not a lot of these have really you know, been working yet, but we're trying a couple more to see if it will work. Okay, it looks like that one's working. So, yeah, like I said, you know, we definitely are really starting to see that rain and wind picked up, like I said. So, you know, we definitely know that, you know, that wind is definitely starting to get, you know, more on the extreme side of things as we continue to watch this closely. And, you know, we will definitely continue to watch it, as, you know, it does still look to cause, you know, some pretty big impacts. Let's select another camera. We already tried quite a bit of these, but I don't think we tried this one yet. And like I said, a lot of these will be, you know, struggling, but let's go back to the radar again to, you know, see the latest on the radar scans. And still got that extreme wind warning still in effect for the Tampa and Clearwater area, even the Bradenton area, and even the, I think that's Bradenton area too as well, and that's the Brandon area. Bradenton and Brandon, just making sure I get it, but you know, that's two areas right next to each other. So if you do live in Tampa, Bradenton, or Brandon, up there towards Clearwater, St. Petersburg, and even areas as far down south as Sarasota. You need to make sure you're getting in your safe spots, as these winds could still cause a lot of damage to roofs, siding, and trees, as wind gusts, over 120 miles per hour are certainly possible, with this system, and that's exactly why they have that extreme wind warning still in effect. And it doesn't say how high the winds are, but it does say that it is a life-threatening situation, which does certainly make sense. So that's one of the reasons why we are, really wanting you guys to be in your safe spots, as this could still cause some extreme damage to roof siding and trees, like I said. So definitely be aware about that if you do live in this extreme wind warning. And let's see, let's look at a few more traffic cameras if we have any. We can even look at some down here towards Sarasota, but let's look just a little bit to the north of that, because this is a little bit more where those extreme winds would be. And yeah, the latest on this camera does show the same thing. We got some very heavy rainfall ongoing, some puddling on roadways right there, as you guys can see, and of course it's moving. Oh wow, look at that. A lot of that water, is really flooding those pond things down there, and, even really shaking the camera quite a bit. I mean, that's kind of intense, especially if you were on there, so... good thing no one's on there, as, flooding is starting to occur as water is washing off the roadways and building up on that grass over there. So, we'll definitely continue to watch, these areas closely, especially down here towards Bradenton and St. Petersburg. But let's see if we can find just a few more. Let's see, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at I think that's called White Field right there, and we're also gonna look at one near the Sarasota Bradenton Airport. So let's go ahead and select the camera from there just to see what's going on exactly. And yeah, Florida, definitely still experiencing some pretty big, impacts there too, as well as, still starting to see that heavy rain and even that wind starting to pick up, like I said, just to the south there of the airport right there. So we will definitely continue to watch, this closely, as, it still looks to be on the concerning side of things. And latest from radar again still does, want to show some extreme wind warnings still in effect, but we still got these flood warnings, like I said, too, as well as, areas like Orlando, Daytona Beach, and, even these areas down there towards Lakeland, Winter Haven, those areas, under flood warnings in effect, and anywhere between 3 to 6 inches have fallen, but another 3 to 6 inches is certainly possible in those flood warn areas. This one over here towards Lakeland, Florida, between 4 to 10 inches have fallen, and we will likely continue to see that, start to increase as we head throughout the next few hours. So definitely continue to, stay on alert if you do live there in Spring Hill, Lakeland, Orlando, Daytona Beach, all those areas, and even maybe even areas, in the Tampa area too, as well. Also need to be watching this closely. Let's look at the latest from satellite again. And yeah, we are starting to see, heavier rain bands still coming off of that system right there, as Milton is, moving on shore even more, as we, continue to watch this area extremely closely. So, like I said, it's a good time to, really be prepared by now, as, this is still looking to cause some pretty huge impacts. And yeah, latest from Zoom Earth, is showing that this will make, landfall just to the south there of Tampa Bay, but like I said, that heaviest rainfall is really ongoing across those areas, and I mean, oh my goodness, we are seeing rainfall rates almost 2 inches per hour in some areas, guys. That is some very, very heavy rainfall, so that's one of the reasons why you guys are under some pretty big flood warnings still. So definitely continue to be weather aware, like I said, as, that is likely gonna start ramping up pretty soon. Let's look at, some more traffic cams. I'm kind of surprised they don't have very many here in Clearwater, but let's look at one right here on the interstate to see what's happening. It looks like we can, maybe we might even be able to watch some of that storm surge right there, but let's see what about this one. See, like I said, quite a bit of these are still struggling still, but we're trying our best to get a decent view. That one's struggling anymore. Just wondering about it. But let's check a couple more out while we're around. No one's pointing out a weird direction. Let's see, this one. Oh wow, I mean that has to be some very heavy rain right there, because it's completely dense. I mean, I can't even see anything, so that's definitely a good view right there, that we could definitely be seeing some very heavy rainfall. And let's even play the video out if one of these cameras will even work. There we go. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. That's intense. Whoa! Oh my goodness, that camera's shaking. We got some very heavy rainfall. I mean, this is our best view so far from what we can see, but wow. Wow, that was a lot of wind, a lot of rainfall. Shaking, water flooding the roadways already, as we are continuing to see that. Visibility is extremely low. I can only see about a quarter mile right there, so definitely some pretty hazard, pretty extreme visibility right there. So I mean, this is not good at all. You guys, let's see where this at. Let's see where this is at. This is located right near this area, so pretty much on Highway 688, just to the south there of the St. Pete Clearwater International Airport, and that's where we're seeing a lot of this flooding start to occur. So let's just go ahead and select that. Let's see what this one shows. And I mean, yeah, it's showing a pretty similar thing. As we are watching it. And yeah, I mean, very heavy rainfall, got some pretty big winds. Already starting to, see some water build up just off the roadway right there. That's pretty much a hole that's kind of like that. So kind of, like a half circle shape into the ground. And like I said, it's already filling up with water, so that's not good right there. And if that overflows, that could definitely start flooding those roadways. When, like I said, that's pretty much just to the south there of the St. Pete Clearwater Airport. Let's look at one near that airport though, and I mean, yeah, oh my goodness, still seeing a pretty similar thing, as we got some pretty extreme wind ongoing in that area. And we can even kind of see that airplane symbol, which just indicates that way to the airport. And so yeah, definitely not a great way to drive on either, as visibility is low. Like I said, I could probably only see about 1/10 of a mile on this one, and we are even starting to see that wind pop up. Oh my goodness, oh wow, I mean, that camera actually shook even more than what I was expecting. That definitely is bad news right there. So if you guys do live just to the south there of the St. Pete Clearwater Airport, please be in your safe spots. Like I said, you guys are under extreme wind warning still, so please get in your safe spots, as Hurricane Milton is kind of starting to make landfall already, and that's why we also are starting to see more of those get issued. Let's look again at the latest from it. This time we can go ahead and select the radar and kind of see, exactly what's happening. And yeah, like I said, we got some extreme heavy rainfall ongoing. Even, areas like, Gulf City there in Florida, you guys, are also seeing some very heavy rainfall too, as well. As, this is really starting to get concerning. Like I said, this is definitely not something that, we would we would see a lot. But you know, we are also, you know, starting to see, you know, the eye even come onto shore right there. You guys can actually kind of see it, and you know, that's one of the reasons why we are really starting to, you know, see some landfall occur right now. And like I said, we are gonna be live for this for quite some time, and best thing to do is to like and subscribe to help spread the message. So if you haven't done that already, please do that, and make sure to share the stream. If you got any friends, family down there in Florida, I would really appreciate that, so make sure to do that. And you know, make sure to also you know, leave any questions, comments, or concerns in the chat. So like I said, please like and subscribe to help spread the message, especially, but you know, especially make sure to share this with anyone who you know down there in Florida, as you know, like I said, this is definitely not a great situation right here. So please make sure to share it so we can keep everybody safe. And let's look back over here at some other cameras once again. We can even you know, turn on the satellite imagery, which actually kind of does help out a little bit on where we're kind of looking. But let's, you know, go ahead and select a camera like right here. Let's go ahead and see what that one shows. Let's go ahead and play that. And yeah, starting to see that rainfall picked up, like I said. You know, we're starting to see some pretty high winds too, as well, as that rain is blowing on the roadways. You can actually kind of see it due to that light over there, but yeah, definitely really starting to pick up in that area. Areas just to the south of that, like on this little highway that's going through the water and back down here towards Bradenton, we are starting to, let's see, we're gonna go ahead and select a camera on that roadway. This should give us a really good view of it if it will load. I was hoping it would play. We would also be able to see a decent area of storm surge if it would even play. See, it looks like that one's struggling, unfortunately. Let's see, do we have another one? These are just pictures, by the way, but yeah, we definitely seen those impacts start to ramp up, like I said, so this is definitely bad for those. Let's see what this one shows. It looks like this one would be a decent view if this one will load too. I mean, I just wish these would load so that way we could really see, but like I said, quite a bit of these are already struggling due to how high those winds are. Let's see, let's just try a couple more to see if this will ever work. Yeah, but it's okay though. We'll just work with what we have to work with, and you know, we can even check out a couple more of these too as well, like this one. Let's see, there might even be a few more we could take a look at. I don't think we took a look at this one yet. Yeah, I mean, definitely starting to see, you know, those winds pick up there too as well, which is pretty much near the Costco wholesale area, just to the south there of Fort Hammer in Florida. So if you guys, you know, let's say if you guys do live just to the south there, St. Petersburg, just near Bradenton, you guys need to make sure you guys are in your safe spot. Like I said, we got some extreme high wind warnings in effect, and you know, we even got, you know, quite a bit of heavy rainfall already occurring, which not only means that we could see you know, some damage due to how high those winds are, but we could even see houses washed away, especially if that flooding really does start to ramp up, and even that storm surge is really starting to pick up too as well. I'm trying to see if I can find some cameras off of these shores, because I would really like a view of that storm surge, but I'm not seeing very many though, unfortunately. Let's see what this one shows. That one doesn't look great. What about this one? No, that one's not able. Let's see. I'm just trying to see if I can find a good view with these, if they will ever work. Okay, that one's starting to work, thankfully. And what is that flash right there? That's weird. Let's see. Oh, okay. I think those are like stoplights that are not working very well, and that might be why they're flashing. But that's weird though. That's weird. I didn't think something like this would happen on camera, but yeah, I mean, it really does, show those flashing, and yeah, heavy rainfalls occurring right there, as you guys can see, and we are even starting to, see, quite a bit of wind too, as well as, those trees back there are starting to sway quite a bit, so we'll definitely watch that area closely. Back down here towards Venice, down here in Florida, this is kind of another area we also need to at least be watching for, as it, does continue to look concerning, but we kind of already gone quite south already. And that's, even where Sarasota is. We haven't looked at very many in Sarasota, Florida yet, so let's just see what these ones show. Let's see, it looks like a pulse block in that one. Okay, I mean, this one does actually give us a pretty good view here too as well. We can see those palm trees starting to sway right there, and we are even starting to see that rain start to pick up a little bit. And this is located right there in downtown Sarasota, almost located right there on Washington Blend in downtown Sarasota. So definitely an interesting view right there. Let's see, we got another one that we can take a look at. No, not that. Let's see, will this even come down? I'm not sure why it keeps doing that to me, but ooh, it looks like that would be a pretty good view. Let's see what that one shows. Oh yeah, I mean, we definitely are seeing those palm trees starting to sway too as well in the same area. Oh wow, that's bright. Must be another car trying to go by, which is not safe, especially during these extreme wind warnings in effect. Which is this area actually included in it? Let's see, Sarasota. And let's just look at it. Oh, okay. Thankfully it's actually not super included in that extreme warning, but it's still at that area where we could definitely be talking about that high wind potential. So that's one of the reasons why we are still going to be keeping an eye on this extremely closely, as it does continue to make its way up to the north. And it's especially up here towards St. Petersburg where we are seeing more of those impacts occur. So let's see if we can even find anything up here in Sarasota that will even load, because quite a bit of these cameras weren't really working the best up here towards St. Petersburg. But let's see if we can find one that works, because like I said, I would like to. And we also want one that, is shown at the right angle, just so that we can get a good view out here. Okay, that's a pretty good one. Oh wow, yeah, that's a great one, by the way, because camera shaking and indicating that those winds are really strong. We are also starting to see, some very heavy rainfall occur too, as well, as rain is blowing on roadways. And so yeah, that's definitely quite intense out there, over there in St. Petersburg in Florida. So definitely quite intense, like I said. We also have, some other areas we can also take a look at too as well, including this area, like right here. Let's see if this one will work. Oh no, doesn't look like that one's working very well either, but we definitely, are still going to be watching these areas closely, as they still do, look to have some pretty good impacts. Let's look over here in Lakeland, Florida, to see if we're finding any flooding. Lakeland, Florida, let's see, we got a couple on this highway, so let's go ahead and take a look at these. And I mean, yeah, definitely, seeing quite a bit, of rainfall already starting to occur, and, we can kind of tell that those roadways right there are quite flooded due to how much rainfall has occurred. 'Cause like I said, when we were looking at those warnings, like I said, a lot of those flood warnings, are indicating anywhere between 4 to 10 inches have fallen, including the Lakeland region, and we will likely continue to see more. Even these areas in Orlando, Florida, have also seen quite a bit too as well. So like I said, good to make sure you're either in your safe spot or continuing to be weather aware. Let's look at a couple more in Lakeland, Florida, including these ones are on Interstate 4. Let's see what this one right here shows. And yeah, this one does indicate some pretty strong wind gusts right there. We're starting to see, quite a bit of, flooding starting to occur in some areas, especially off that roadway right there. So definitely looking, quite intense, like I said, out there. As, we're starting to see those winds and, of course, that flood potential start to pick up right there. And back to the radar again, like I said, you guys, in Bradenton, Brandon, St. Petersburg, Clearwater, Tampa, and even up here, in Palm Harbor, you guys definitely need to make sure you're in your safe spots, as these winds could definitely cause some damage to roofs, siding, and trees, and even more of that could definitely occur. As these winds are definitely going to be on the impactful side of things, so make sure to do that. Areas down here towards Miami, you guys in Miami are looking okay. Got a couple of isolated thunderstorms, but just wanted to warn you guys about that, as some of these may start to rotate pretty soon. But that tornado potential should also be going down pretty soon. But we still got that threat for a couple of strong tornadoes, which is still the latest from the Storm Prediction Center, with that threat of a couple of isolated thunderstorms containing those damaging winds potentially. So like I said, we are definitely gonna continue to watch that closely, as this is looking to be on the concerning side of things. Let's look at some traffic cams in Orlando, Florida. Let's see how these ones are doing. See if we can get a decent view out here, if these will ever work. Yeah, and this one right here definitely, does show quite a bit of rainfall has already fallen, and yeah, even starting to see a lot of that, puddling on the curves of the road, and it's kind of, flowing and shaped like a river right there, so that does, indicate some imminent flooding already starting to occur in Florida. But as we start to, see anywhere from, 3 to 6 inches falling in the next few hours, that will definitely start to get worse pretty soon. Let's look at a couple more, including, some areas near Clearwater, Florida. Let's see. Let's look, even at a couple more here in Tampa, Florida, like this one. Let's see what this one shows. Yeah, this one does show, a decent view out there. Heavy rainfall starting to occur, and even got some wind right there as cameras are starting to shake. So definitely quite interesting out there, as we are gonna, continue to watch this extremely closely. So we'll definitely continue to watch it, as it does still look to be on the concerning side of things. And we are even watching these areas in downtown Tampa too as well. Let's see if we can find a camera a little bit farther down to the south, like this one right here. Let's see what this one shows. That one's struggling quite a bit, so let's see if we can find another one. Ooh, that looks like a really good one. Ooh, no. I was hoping that one will work. I mean, that's great. Let's try it again and see if it will work. Yeah, unfortunately it doesn't, but that's okay though. Let's see. Let's see. There's another one right here that we could look at and just see exactly what's happening. And oh my goodness. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Holy moly. That is super shaky. Holy moly, that is very, very shaky. I can't believe that camera's still working. We got even some very bright lights out there too as well. Like, this is very intense, guys. Like I said, extreme wind warnings are not a joke. You guys definitely need to be going into your guys' safe spots, as these winds could definitely cause some damage to roofs, siding, and trees and other things in houses, guys. Like, you guys literally need to be taking this seriously if you live in Tampa Bay, which is exactly where we're looking at right now, is Tampa, Clearwater, St. Petersburg, Bradenton, and even Brandon will need to continue to be in their safe spots, as we still do have that extreme wind warning still in effect. And like I said, that is very, very, very intense right there, especially if you look at it. So we will definitely continue to watch these areas right here just offshore of Sunset or Sun Bay South there in Florida. But let's see here, we might even find some other cameras to look at too as well, like this one on that interstate. Let's see if this one will work. Oh wow, oh my gosh, holy moly, that is a lot of water. Wow, that is quite a bit right there. Seeing some blowing rainfall. We're kind of seeing that those waves starting to increase, and let's see exactly how this is out. And I mean, we are actually looking right in the middle of the water, so where we're seeing that water starting to move is not a joke. This is pretty much looking towards the Bay Area, and like I said, that's quite a bit of water right there, unfortunately. So that's definitely something to take very seriously, especially if you live on one of those coastal areas. Let's look at another one over here. Let's see what this one shows. And like I said, a lot of these are going to struggle. Oh my gosh, okay. Oh wow, I can't believe that one turned on. Let's see what this one shows. Wow, oh my gosh, that is super, super windy out there. Like I said, guys, this is no joke. You guys must be down in your safe spots, as this is still looking to really cause some damage to roofs, siding, and trees potentially, as, oh my gosh, I cannot believe, this is really, shaking quite a bit. So that's something we are going to continue to watch extremely closely, as, we are definitely going to continue to keep an eye on it. We are also, watching some of these other areas. Let's go ahead and take a look at some more areas. Let's see. We can even look at some of these near the Florida Keys if we want to, just for fun. Nothing too much going down on there, so this would be a good place to go, especially if you're trying to evacuate, because we do not have very many impacts occurring down there in the Key West region there of Florida. So definitely better than, a lot of impacts, but, you guys still in Key West might still be experiencing a little bit of storm surge, as, winds will still be on the gusty side of things. Let's check out some more traffic cameras, especially south there of Orlando. And like I said, this is just, really just giving us a view on what we are finding out there. So yeah, we definitely still need to be watching it. Like I said, got some flash flood warnings still in effect too as well. We even got some special marine warnings also in effect for areas offshore of the East Coast too as well. So that's, something to still continue to watch for, as, this still is looking to be on the concerning side of things. And I'm going to quickly go ahead and get a drink. So just hold on a second. I will be quick. Alright, Sorry guys, I just wanted to quickly get a drink. And like I said, you guys over down there in Tampa Bay and in this extreme wind warning still need to, be taking this very seriously, as we are still gonna be watching this, Milton, as we are still going to be watching Milton closely. And if we also look at the latest from satellite imagery, we're going to go ahead and quickly refresh this. We're going to select Milton again. And yeah, I mean, that big, eye has been coming onto shore more, and we're already starting to see more of that heavy rainfall starting to occur over there in Tampa Bay. So, like I said, you guys in Tampa Bay do need to be taking this seriously still. And so we will still continue to watch it closely, as it is going to still be a major concern. And like I said, make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I would like to try to get up to 600 subscribers before the end of this year. So, like I said, liking and subscribing will definitely help out a lot. And, you guys should also, leave any questions, comments, or concerns down in the chat too as well, which I would really appreciate. So feel free to leave any of that in the chat, and also feel free to leave anything down below. So make sure to continue to do that, as we will definitely continue to watch this closely. But like I said, latest from satellite view still does show some huge impact from Milton, so we are still watching it closely right there. Let's see, we can even take a look at a few other areas. Let's look at some more areas over here in Tampa Bay, including this highway right here. So we're going to go ahead and select a camera. Not sure if we already took a look at this one or yet, but yeah, sure definitely is something to still be worrying about, like I said, as we definitely are still watching it closely. This camera over here, I'm struggling too as well. So like I said, we are still gonna continue to watch it closely, as it's still gonna be something to still be keeping an eye on. So we still need to be weather aware if you guys do live in any of those areas. Back here to the radar again, still got that extreme wind warning in effect for areas around Tampa, like I said. Even St. Petersburg, Clearwater, Bradenton, Brandon, and even other areas too as well will be at risk for some very high winds, as we will continue to watch this closely right here. We also are watching some areas just offshore for that water spout potential, like I said. So that's one of the reasons why we are still gonna be watching this closely. Oh, yeah, and I'm kind of tired, by the way, too, as well. It's been quite a long day. We've been covering this for quite a while. I'm gonna still be live for probably like another hour or two covering this, as this is still gonna be something concerning to still be watching for. Looks like we even are starting to see some flash flood warnings in effect for areas closer to the Jacksonville area. Jacksonville, you guys could definitely start seeing that heavier rain soon, but even Palm Coast, you guys starting to see some pretty big rainfall too as well. So you guys definitely need to be keeping an eye on this closely. And if we look at the latest from Zoom Earth, this is actually just getting ready to move on to shore right now, starting to really cause some pretty big landfall too as well. So if we look at it closely, there's a center of it right there, and it's actually just getting ready to head on to shore right there. And let's see, just trying to see exactly where this is at. But okay, I think I know about where this is, and that's about where we should also look to as well. But just double checking. Let's see, yeah, more than likely down here towards, Long Key and Saratoga. So let's go ahead and select, some cameras, in that area. And like I said, if this will even work, I'm just surprised a lot of these are struggling on to, load. No live feed on that one, not that one either. Let's see, what about this one? And I'm actually gonna go ahead and refresh this, by the way. I just don't like how these are struggling, so that's why I'm gonna refresh it to see if any of these will even start to work. Let's see, we're gonna go back down to where we were before, which was near Sarasota, and we're gonna go ahead and select one of them just to see if they will give us any feedback, like this one. Let's see what this one shows. This one's still struggling, so doesn't look like that one will work. Let's see here. You're the best. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that, my friend. And also thanks for joining too as well. That's very nice, of you to join my live stream. And yeah, we will definitely continue to cover Milton, as it sure is gonna be powerful by the time it really does, make landfall in Florida. And we can even go ahead and still take a look at some more traffic cameras around. Let's see if we can even find any, like I said. Quite a bit of these aren't working due to how strong those winds are, but we can go ahead and just check out a few, see, just to get a good idea on what's happening, like I said. Including on this road right here. Let's see if this one will start working. Like I said, just surprised that a lot of these, stopped working, but not surprising because, of how strong those winds are. Looks like that area is interesting right there too as well, but yeah, we're definitely, going to continue to keep an eye on it closely, and latest from radar still does have that extreme wind warning in effect still for the Tampa area, St. Petersburg, Bradenton, Bradenton, and even up there towards Clearwater. Those areas still under that extreme wind warning, so still be taking this seriously if you are in the Tampa Bay area, St. Petersburg area, Bradenton, Bradenton area. You guys still need to be taking this seriously, like I said. And like I said, feel free to leave any questions, comments, or concerns in the chat if you haven't already, as we will still continue to cover Milton. We still, are watching, areas like this, as, we're starting to see some heavier bands move on through the Tampa area. So not only do we have to worry about winds, but we still are needing to be watching it closely. Let's see here. How much height of rainfall are they expecting? They are expecting a lot, my friend. So from what we expect, from what we expect there to still be, the latest from the National Hurricane Center is still pointing out 8 to 12 inches, with some areas still likely to see over a foot of rainfall. So those will be areas north of Tampa Bay and Orlando. But a lot of that has already fallen, though, as we do have a lot of flood warnings still in effect, including for Orlando. So if we do click there on Orlando and look at this flood warning, between 3 to 6 inches have fallen, but additional amounts of 3 to 6 inches are possible in the Warren area, my friend. So that's gonna, pretty much be double-digit totals right there on what we already saw during the last few hours. And we already seen even more rainfall across the Tampa Bay area and even Lakeland, Florida, as those areas has seen in between 4 to 10 inches of rainfall, which is a lot. Like I said, a lot of this rainfall that has been expected over the past few days have already fallen, and we will likely see twice that much rainfall. So we're talking double-digit rainfall totals the next couple of hours as what has already fallen, my friend. So well over a foot of rainfall can be expected across much of central Florida. But thanks for asking that, by the way. I do appreciate that. Let's look at some traffic cameras again. We can even look at a few even in the Lakeland area, just to give us a good idea, like I said, on if there's any flooding or extreme wind starting to occur, including this one right here. Like I said, a lot of these cameras will definitely be struggling, but we can see, maybe just look at the photos just to see exactly how everything's playing out. And like I said, we definitely are seeing a lot of that rainfall on the heavier side of things, and we are also starting to see, let's see, okay, I'm so glad that worked. I was not expecting it to, because that took a long time to connect, but yes, I was right. We are starting to see a lot of that flooding on the roadways, and that wind is even starting to pick up too, as well, as we are already starting to see a lot of, that wind blow the water across the road right there. So that's, pretty quick right there, as, we will continue to keep an eye on this still, and we will, continue to watch some other areas for potential flooding, as it does still look to kind of be a problem. So, like I said, we're still going to continue to keep an eye on this closely, as it's still looking to cause some pretty major impacts across parts of Florida. And not only that, let's see here. We can also go ahead and look at a few other traffic cameras, like this one, and like this one, over there towards let's see, just trying to figure out exactly where this is, but this one is on Interstate 4. And this one, does, show a pretty similar thing too as well. But, definitely still continuing to see that. Let's see here. That's crazy. Oh, yeah, for sure, my friend. It sure is, crazy. And, I mean, record-breaking rainfall is, always possible whenever we see huge storms like this. So, it definitely, isn't ruled out by this point, that record-breaking rainfall and, even record-breaking damaging winds. And, of course, all kinds of other things, including storm surge, could also be record-breaking with this system, and it just depends on how exactly everything plays out. But like I said, that's certainly definitely crazy, so that's something we're still watching for. Let's look at some more cameras down here towards Sarasota again, if these will work. And remember the other one started working when we waited for a little bit, so let's see if that one does anything. And yes, okay, finally that one started working now. And for what's happening in this area, not as extreme, but it's still, got still some pretty decent rainfall already occurring in those areas, so we will still continue to watch those areas closely. And we can even go ahead and take a look at some more, like this one right here. We're going to wait for a little bit to see if this one starts playing its video. Alright, yep. And yeah, definitely, starting to see some heavy rainfall right there. Wind starting to pick up too as well. So we're going to continue to, watch this system pretty closely right here, as it's still causing some extreme flooding, and of course that storm surge right there, as this will still continue to be quite a major problem right here. So we will continue to watch it closely, as it still does look to be a pretty big problem at this point. Latest from satellite imagery, or the latest from the National Hurricane Center rather, is showing that it already passed that little small piece of land right there, and it's getting ready to head onto shore. So I mean, landfall has just started, my friends. Landfall has just started, and that's one of the reasons why we want you guys to be weather aware and be prepared. And now's the time right now, because landfall has just started and the bells are ringing now. So make sure to get ready for that before we really start to see those impacts start to ramp up, and it's not good, guys. So be ready. And we're pretty much starting to see landfall right here on Longboat Key in Florida, even up here, towards Anna Maria Island, Helms Beach. Those areas starting to see some super high storm surge and of course some really high winds too as well. And if we look at one of these cameras, we're gonna wait just a little bit to see if this one loads, like I said, because some of these do take a little bit to connect, which I'm starting to get now, because I didn't think they would connect in the first place. But let's see, we're gonna click on it one more time to see if it connects. And yeah, like I said, starting to really see a lot of that starting to ramp up. And wow, oh my goodness, that is rocking. That is rocking quite a bit. That is quite a shaky camera right there. Sure is intense, guys. Like I said, you guys need to be in your safe spots if you guys are under that extreme wind warning in effect. And you guys can already tell how intense those winds are. We're talking, shaky camera. We're talking, some pretty big flooding in some areas. And, we're even talking much more than that. But like I said, definitely not, super good. As we will continue to see a lot of that start to ramp up as, this still does look to cause some pretty big impacts. So, we are still watching it closely. Let's look at a few traffic cams right here on this interstate. This is Interstate 275, and the only video cam we have is all the way down there in this area. So let's check that out. Kind of has a silly look to it, so not sure what's going on with this one, but sure does indicate that something's definitely going on in that area. So let's go ahead and check out a different one just so that we can get a little bit better of a view. Let's see what this one shows. And so, we still, need to be watching this area right here closely too, as well as, we still, got some pretty high winds, some pretty big storm surge and all that stuff still ongoing. So that's, one of the reasons why we still need to be watching this closely. And like I said, I am tired. We will be live for until 8 o'clock at least. Nothing, extreme stream has been going on yet, but like I said, it's getting late, so we are gonna end this live stream pretty soon here. So just in about 10 minutes, we'll end the stream. And, I know I've been talking about going live longer, but like I said, I'm already tired, and, it's not really great for me to be live for very long either, so, you guys can still, use my streams to keep you safe, but, by the time, I'm ending my stream and all that stuff, you might need to use someone else to keep you safe. But like I said, we are going to end this live stream pretty soon, because, like I said, it's late, I'm tired, and, it's not really great for me to even be live for this long, but we are doing it to keep you guys safe, like I said, which I do think is important. So, but like I said, you guys, in this extreme warning, in this extreme wind warning right here, need to still continue to be in your guys' safe spots. So make sure to do that before we end this stream right here. And even you guys under the flood warnings should still also be taking this seriously too as well. So make sure to, do that before we end this live stream, like I said. And latest, from the satellite imagery, like I said, still does continue, to show some quite intense rainfall right there. And, even some rainfall is, even occurring up here towards Jacksonville, Florida too as well, which is quite interesting. But especially down here towards the Tampa Bay area is where we're really seeing those heaviest amounts of rainfall occurring. So, we're definitely gonna, continue to keep an eye on that closely. But, I hope you guys, did enjoy my stream right here. It's almost 8 o'clock, so we're going to go ahead and end it right now. If you guys, haven't liked and subscribed already, make sure to do that. We will continue to keep you guys updated with the latest on this, on Milton, and, we will do a video tomorrow, so make sure to stay tuned for my video tomorrow. And, I wish I could stay live for a lot of this, but like I said, it's not great for my body to be live for very long, and, of course, it's late too as well, so, we're gonna end this live stream pretty soon. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your guys' work week, and like I said, I will be posting a video tomorrow, so make sure to stay tuned for that, as Milton will still be causing some lingering impacts into tomorrow, and, we will continue to keep you guys updated with the latest, and I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day, and we're gonna go ahead